coming to you from the heart of Mid-America, Kansas City, Missouri, where tonight, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Avi Garcia, Melky Cabrera and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Kendrys Morales and the division-leading Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the first of this three-game set. As you know, we salvaged, is a better way to put it, the last game of the series yesterday in Minnesota. We came back and won that ball game after trailing 4-1. But coming in here, we have not had much success in this ballpark, but we got a guy going out there that who career-wise has had a lot of success.
Johnny Danks has thrown the ball exceptionally well against Kansas City. Why? Nobody really knows, but he's 9-2 lifetime against him in 20 starts. As you can see with an ERA of 2.69, he consistently gets the job done, although this year, just 2-2, as this Kansas City team is better than they've ever been at this point. John's usually got a good straight change, and against Kansas City, he's been keeping it down. He's been throwing a lot of curveballs, mixing it up and changing speeds. Good ballpark for him because he throws fly balls. This is a great fly ball park.
Well, he's going to have his hands full tonight because this ball club has been scoring a lot of runs headed up by Kendrys Morales.
They also made a couple of changes, and they got Ben Zobrist, and Kendrys Morales has been doing a great job. He's got 98 runs batted in, and as you can see, in batting average, they're first. In strikeouts, they're first, and they do make contact, and 142 fewer strikeouts than the next closest team, and that's Oakland. Average with runners in scoring position, terrific. They're second at 282. Stolen bases, they're second. Runs per game, they're fourth. And on-base percentage, they're fourth. So this is an offensive machine. And lately, they've been getting better because they've got Johnny Gomes. It almost ensures they're going to get in postseason play and go deep. This is a guy that's used to winning. That's why they got him. He's been here for 2 games. He's 3 for 6 with a couple of doubles and a run batted in. He was acquired from the Braves, and for the last 5 years, he has gone deep into the playoffs. So Johnny Gomes is a player you get when you're going for it, and apparently Kansas City wants to get there this year.
Well, they got a pretty good chance to get there.
They do.
But the thing about it is we have played 6 games here, and we have not won one yet, so it's a beautiful night to win a baseball game. Sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. The annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium, and let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off, and Jose Abreu in the 2 spot with Melky Cabrera hitting 3rd. Then it's Avi Garcia, Adam LaRoche, who's torched Medlin during the course of his career, with Alexi Ramirez, Carlos Sanchez, Tyler Flowers, and Tyler Saladino rounding it out. The defense, and it's a good one, and how they're going to line up behind Medlin. Orlando in left, Kane in center, Gomes in right. Cuthbert at 3rd base with Escobar, Zobrist, and Hosmer around the infield. Salvador Perez behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Chris Medlin. He's had a couple of Tommy John surgeries, as you can see, doing pretty well so far. This is 3rd start, his 10th game overall. And the ERA, 3.50. Let's take a look at the umpires for the game tonight. It's going to be Brian Knight behind the plate. Vic Carapaz is at first. Ron Culpa's at second, and the crew chief Larry Vanover is at third. So with the Sox trying to win their first game of the year in this ballpark, we're not going to make a big deal of it, but I do want to wish my partner a happy birthday, because you don't turn 34 all that often, and so happy birthday today, Hawk.
74.
Is that what it is?
Against all odds.
Against all odds, yes, that's true. Good movie, and also in your case, it applies.
All right. It's a good night to win a ball game. So before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. There's Adam Eaton. We'll lead it off. Adam comes in hitting at 270, 10 homers, and 38 driven in. We saw Medlin before, and he was very impressive.
He's going to top out about 92. What he does have is a terrific curveball that, now that his arm is sound, it's getting better and better, and that's his wipeout pitch.
And there's the first pitch of the ball game, hit hard by Adam. Well, he was impressive to the degree. Mound presence, aggressiveness came right at him. Did not give up a hit in 3 2/3. That's 3 strikeouts. So here is Abreu. Jose at 292, 24 homers, 80 driven in. What a relief it was to salvage that last game yesterday. Nice flight down. Got here early. Everybody got a good night's rest. There's a strike.
Medlin's best year with Atlanta was 2012. He was 10-1 that year, combined between the bullpen, and he started 12 of those games. ERA 157.
They won 15 for him in 2013 with a 3.11 ERA.
And Kansas City signed him as a free agent. They had to wait for him to recover from the Tommy John surgery, the second of 2 he's had. Now he appears to be 100%.
I hope a lot of these athletes are getting a nice gift for these wonderful doctors that have saved their careers, prolonged them. Watch out. Dr. Tony Romeo, all we do is make Jake Peavy another $45 million. Our whole staff has prolonged a lot of guys, athletes. Well, their careers, I should say. And there he just shoves it to the right side, so he'll make the turn. He'll go in into third. And runners at the corners, nobody out.
This is pretty much how it started in yesterday's game. Adam Eaton led off with a single, later scored. Abreu hit a double. The runners at second and third, and nobody out. Sox came away with a run. Probably could have had a few more in that inning. Let's see if they can make the most out of this first and third with nobody out.
Well, you'd think it's just a matter of time, but it hadn't worked out that way. Melky, 274, 9 homers, 62 driven in. Jack.
That was a good straight change, and he had it out in front of it.
Way out in front of it. Way out. Big crowd on hand. Averaging over 33,000. Another one. Doubled him up. That one missed. 33,222. So the Renaissance of baseball is back, doing well here in Kansas City.
Plus the ever popular Zombie Night is tonight.
That's at the bottom of the zone. There's Brian Knight. 2-2 the count. Gap out there in left center if he can find it. That one had a chance to go to left center right there.
In the last month, he's thrown his off-speed pitches to lefties just about 55% of the time. So we'll see if Melky is looking for something off-speed, although it's tough to catch up to the fastball if you do, and it's going to be something off-speed.
There's they're going to come to the plate, and they're going to get it. Good play by Medlin. Very athletic play by the short pitcher. He's just 5'10".
You know, it's a relatively tall guy in some parts of this country. That was a straight change. And one of the things we heard about Medlin, and it certainly held true here, was he's a terrific fielder. This is an off-balance throw. He gets it in plenty of time to Perez. You got to go on that one, because if he tips it or doesn't get to it, it's a run. As it turned out, he gets cut down at the plate.
No, the way that ball was hit and the way it developed, you got to go. Well, he did, but Medlin just beat it. So here is Avi. Oh boy. Avi at 264, 12 homers, 53 driven in. Foul tips it. Now the biggest killer of performance is pressure. Everything is self-induced, and our hitters just seem to put a lot of pressure on themselves. Situations and situational hitting. There's a base hit. Kane can throw. They're going to wave him around. And here is the throw. Safe. He gets that foot in there. Good slide by Jose. And it is 1-0 Sox. Attaboy, Avi.
RBI number 54, and a good throw by Lorenzo Cain, but they can't cut down Jose at the plate. This is awfully close. He makes it a lot closer than it appeared when he hit the ball. See the front foot in ahead of the tag, and so 3 singles have yielded 1 run.
And here's Adam. Adam at 215, 12 homers, 43 knocked in. Kane over Over towards Gomes and right. Oops. Slips. 1-0 the count. Sox come in with a .251 average and a 3.97 team ERA.
They have a shift, although it's not quite as radical as they would shift if nobody was on base. Escobar is over, right him back at second base. He's making sure that Melky doesn't get too much of a lead.
That's the thing about holding a guy close to second base. You can't cover everything. So if you're going to make a mistake someplace, you're better off doing something that you can control a little bit, and that's the lead the guy gets at second base. So you give up a little distance, is actually yanked foul.
Getting a 3-0 green light, he got one to his liking. It was just about knee high in the inner portion of the plate.
Yeah, it was hit hard too. There's that change. So full count. Alexei on deck. And that's ball 4. That'll load him up. That was not even close to letting him have a chance to get himself out.
Tried to throw a fastball, somewhat surprising after making him look bad on a straight change, but the fastball was way up out of the zone.
Thought he was about an 8-5 favorite to come back with another one.
But he didn't. Time now for AT&T U-verse Multiview. Very good speed at second.
Alexei, one of our better first ball fastball hitters. He's hitting at .245, 8 homers, 49 knocked in. That one down out of the zone at 92. Curveball, that's high.
We're with the bases loaded for Alexei. He's been pretty impressive.
Six grand slams, 4 of those coming in his rookie season. There's the chopper. Back through the middle. That's going to score a pair. Zobrist just whiffed on it, and it's 3-0.
Zobrist.
Soft ground ball. Alexei now 51 RBIs. More importantly, a 3-run lead. And we're not done yet, as here is Carlos Sanchez at .234, 3 homers, 25 knocked in. Goes to second. Looking for it, got it, and a little tardy. 3-4-0 for us. No runs, no hits, no errors for them because they haven't come to the plate yet. If you're just joining us, curveball strike.
Somehow that one just scooted under the glove of Zobrist at second base. Looked like he thought for a moment Escobar was going to get it. As it turned out, nobody got it.
And bend over a little more. Get a little lower. As that's downstairs. And the count 1-2. That curveball, and that should be. But we put a cooking number up there. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. It is a 3-0 White Sox lead.
Escobar, Zobrist, and Kane at the top with Hosmer, Morales, and Gomes in the middle. Perez, Cuthbert, and Orlando rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Johnny Danks left to right. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Avisail Garcia. In the infield, Saladino, Ramirez, Sanchez, and Abreu. Tyler Flowers behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks, on for his 26th start, looking for his 7th win. He's been brilliant against Kansas City, 7-2 lifetime with an ERA in the 2s.
So here's Escobar. Alcides hitting at 260, 3 homers, 41 driven in. Royals have been really hitting the baseball, scoring a lot of runs. They come in with a 273 average, 3.56 team ERA. 88 stolen bases. Couple with more home runs than we do. That's largely in part of that 31 over at 82-51.
They've been able to dominate against the Central at 34-20, and of course here at Coughlin Stadium 47-22. Really taking advantage of the home cooking, and they're also over 500 on the road.
Six over, 35-29 on the road. Well, they've got that TWTW. They had it last year. You can see it growing 2 years ago. In my opinion, they should have won it in 2013. That's close, but just a little low.
Escobar hits the ball to right center a lot. That's why Eaton is shading him over that way.
He gone.
Take a look at the best home records in the major leagues. The St. Louis Cardinals lead the way. Then the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Pittsburgh Pirates. We told you about these Royals. Houston Astros, New York Mets, and Toronto Blue Jays. And not coincidentally, all of these teams currently qualify for the playoffs. If you dominate at home, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Here's the second baseman, Ben Zobrist, switch hitter. Fouls that one away. Ben at 291. 11 homers, 50 knocked in. He was just a terrific pickup for Kansas City. He's an all-purpose player. He is a good 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitter. Put him anywhere and he'll do a good job for you.
Plus, being a switch hitter, that's a tremendous advantage. All he's done is hit .336 since coming over to Kansas City. And this is his 33rd game with him.
Outfield straight up. And another foul ball. RBIs in 32 games.
And with this team, the on-base percentage, .423. You allow scoring of runs that way.
Back to the middle. Sanchez cannot get the ears on it, so that'll be a base hit.
Having to cross over to the third base side of second. The Astros are very doubtful they're going to throw him out anyway. But he would have taken a shot at it. Instead, Zobrist is aboard. Now he throws the high fastball, but Cauliflowers wanted it in. John got it over the plate and gave up the hit.
So here is Lorenzo Cain at 315, 14 long ones, and 64 driven in. Last time we were in this ballpark, this guy was swinging the bat just about as good as he could swing it. Every time he turned it loose, he hit it, he barreled it up. He didn't pop it up and ground it out. For a second to get Zobrist. Can't get him first. Good try, though. 2 down.
Lorenzo got turned around in the batter's box because he squibbed it off the end of the bat. And then he really wasn't beating it down the line to first base. He was loafing to first base. He's very lucky that he didn't get thrown out at first.
Well, you saw Carlos. He gave it almost a double take.
I think he was shocked.
Yeah, he was.
I think Ned Yost would have been shocked if he was doubled up on that one.
So here's Hosmer at 312, 14 homers, 78 knocked in. A lot of those 78 game winners. Hosmer 9 for 31 lifetime off Johnny.
Putting together just a banner year. It's really the year that they've been waiting for from a guy that they felt was going to be one of the better first basemen in the game.
Well, he is that defensively. But he's still 25 years old. And he's going to get better and better offensively. Or he should get better.
Former first-round draft pick. He was the 3rd player picked in 2008.
Now, one of the things that's really impressive about this Kansas City team is they've done all this primarily without Alex Gordon.
And he's back. What he's doing now is he's playing every other day. And Joe's very happy to have his 4-time Gold Glove winning left fielder back in the lineup. But he's not strong enough yet to play every day. That'll come along as they move along through September.
Well, he's the face of this ball. 3-1 the count. Modified shift. So here comes their big RBI guy, Kendrys Morales, who's got 98 of them.
Kansas City took a shot at this guy, deciding to let Billy Butler go. Butler had a $10 million option in his contract. They decided to let him go. He wound up with Oakland. And Morales last year hit .234 with Minnesota, .207 with Seattle. So this was pretty much of a gamble when they brought him in. Look at those numbers. Doesn't look like much of a gamble now.
He's a .271 career hitter. You make a mistake on him and you can put it on the board. Takes first pitch strike down at the bottom of the zone. Yes, he did. And the count 0-2.
Morales a touch better hitter from the right side. However, he's infinitely more powerful as a left-hand hitter. 14 of his 17 home runs have come left-handed.
One and two. That predominantly is the way most guys who are right-handed, switch hitters are.
They get so many more at-bats from the left side normally that they just become much more powerful from that side.
He gone. Johnny pitches out of it. And after one, it is 3-0 good guy.
By Miller Lite.
And right now, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, our director of the crew. Well, they went with Sanchez. Steve's going with Adam LaRoche. AJ Rumsa and I. AJ, who owns Burwood Tap in Lincoln Park, and AJ also played 4 exciting years of basketball at UCF, University of Central Florida. AJ Rumsa and I are going to go with Adam Eaton, who singled and scored last inning.
That could very well be, but I think the biggest bet of the inning was a walk to LaRoche, setting up that base hit up the middle by Ramirez.
Look, I saw enough of the politicians this morning on Fox. Okay. Here's Tyler. A line, that boy, Tyler. Line shot.
Hitters have a pretty good idea that Medlin's going to be around the plate early in the count. They're taking advantage of it. This one low and away, but in the strike zone, and Tyler takes it the opposite way. A good way to lead it off.
Well, we talked about it last inning. When we've seen him before, he was very aggressive coming right out. First ball fastball, trying to get ahead of the thing. When you get guys like that, you got to get on that first ball fastball and make him change.
Might be the best pitch you're going to get in the at bat. especially with his curveball, although he hasn't thrown many of them yet.
One that was real good. The rest of them have been oops.
This is right.
Tyler, 233, 3 homers, 17 knocked in. There's a curveball and a double play. Two down.
If you're looking for a ground ball, the curveball is the best pitch you can throw. And Medlin, he's got a pretty good one. Although this one stayed over the middle of the plate, unfortunately, Tyler hit it right at Cuthbert.
Yeah, that was a good curveball to hit.
Yes. Cuthbert, a fine defender at third base. He's from Nicaragua and a very solid player.
That pitch low and in. Adam hit the first pitch of the ball game hard. A bullet in the center field. Off the end of the bat. That didn't take long. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. It is still 3-0 White Sox. The Australia Qantas Wallabies. So witness the action live this weekend at Soldier Field. Tickets on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
And taking a look at Zombie Night. A lot of folks dressed up quite nicely. We do have an update on the chickenpox situation here. And it's Kelvin Herrera and Alex Rios. And they both came to the park today sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock. They made sure that they did work out, got their work in, but made sure that they also got out before the rest of the team came in case some of the guys weren't inoculated against chickenpox. So they probably burned their uniforms and things like they do with cholera or one of those other things that breaks out. But yeah, they came early, worked out, went home.
Well, there is certainly a virus there that you're better off getting it at a young age.
There is no doubt. It also is the same virus that is shingles for older folks.
I've had them both.
Wow. I'm going to move over a little bit.
Come on over. Gomes with a 2-1 count. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Johnny just looks in.
Bernard's pitch tracks will show you that could have been called. Wasn't. Very close.
Gomes, 34-year-old veteran, and look at the play. Look at the play by Tyler. That is beautiful.
Gomes is a terrific mistake hitter. Mistake in that it's 3-1. You're looking fastball all the way. He crushed this ball. Very good, quick reflexes to his left. That's all you need is one quick step if you're going to play third base. Tyler has that, and he robbed him of a base hit.
Here's one of the better catchers. That's foul. In the game, Salvador Perez at 256, 18 homers, 57 knocked in. Last year, he had 260, 17 homers, and drove in 70. That's line. Stay in the air. It will. So 2 down. That's the hang wolf. 2 hang woofums. One for Gomes and one for Perez.
Both of them were crushed. That one was not a sinking line drive, and it stayed up long enough for Robbie to make the play.
How about this, Sox fans? A.J. Pierzynski has just tied Hall of Famer Bill Dickey for 10th place all-time in hits among catchers with his 1,969th hit.
Infield hit?
It was a Kansas City special. No, he's having a heck of a year for the Braves, even though they're not playing well at all. Johnny Bench is 9th with 2,048.
This is probably the best baseball playing Chesler that I've ever seen. I've never heard of another Chesler who played.
Well, you mentioned he's from Nicaragua.
Yep.
Now, how can you be from Nicaragua and come from a town called Corn Island?
That's where he's from.
Corn Island, Nicaragua. Can't get that one.
Hopefully we will get more Nicaraguan players. I played with one.
Yeah, he was a good one.
Dennis Martinez.
He was a good one.
Won 245 games. Threw a perfect game. He was something.
That ball hit hard. Over the head. About a meet. So 3 bullets here on the bottom of the 2nd inning. Meanwhile, 2 out, man on second.
Toughest ball to judge is one hit right at you, and this one is pretty much hit at Adam. He goes back, but this ball just kept on taking off. And this is a big, big center field. Second double of the year, and probably outside of the home run he hit, this one could have actually been hit harder. It certainly was hit as hard. He crushed this ball.
Paulo Orlando from Brazil. 249, 6 homers, and 23 driven in. And there's a bullet. They got a shot at him. Good throw's going to get him. He gone. Rack him up. Attaboy, Melky. Our outfield, I'll tell you, I think they're leading the world in assists. Meanwhile, they're still 3-0 Sox.
fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
It'll be Abreu, Cabrera, and Avi.
It's just the second year that Mike Jerschel has been the third base coach. But apparently they don't get real good scouting reports on accuracy and strength of arm, because running on Melky in a situation that's like that, hard hit right at him, not a recipe for scoring a run.
Well, there's not a better throwing outfield in baseball than ours if you're talking about strength of arm and accuracy. You might tie them, but you're not going to beat them.
No, they're pretty good all the way around.
Plus, they don't throw the wrong base very often. This has been one of the best, if not the best, throwing seasons for a White Sox outfield in the last 30 years.
Lobby leads the league in assists, so that's pretty good. And the other two guys have been very good most of the time.
Well, he's got 16 of them. That's Orlando.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. Orlando hits the ball right on the button, but Melky gets there quickly. And this is way too wide a turn. Melky comes up, he fires, and they got him by plenty. He's tagged out before he ever gets close to the plate. A very good 7-2.
Here's Melky. He came to the plate, the men on first and third, nobody out, hit a high chopper that Midland really made a beautiful play on. Off balance, turned around and threw to Perez, and they got out of meeting. There's a strike. And that is shanked foul. First of 3 here. Tomorrow was a Quintana against Danny Duffy. That game will be over WGN. And the finale of this series and road trip, Eric Johnson was the International League Pitcher of the Year.
Be nice to see him on the mound getting a start. It'll be toasty here Sunday afternoon.
Change up. 2 down.
Seems like Medlin is starting to get his wits about him on the hill, getting the curveball and a straight change over the plate.
Avi with a bullet single into center field, knocking in his 54th run. And there is a nice play by Copper. 1-2-3 inning. Go to the bottom of the third, still 3-0.
Lovely young ladies came in the booth to serenade my partner on this, his 74th birthday. I decided they need a little instruction.
You don't look like John Williams there.
No, for sure.
But I must say, in 74 years, that might be the most lovely young ladies to sing happy birthday.
I think it was terrific, and truth be known, it was set up by none other than Rex Hudler. The immortal Rex Hudler from the other side.
Oh, Rexy. He was one of my favorite guys to watch play. Boy, he laid it all out there, didn't he?
He did that.
Woo.
He did play this game with a football player's mentality, and there's a look at the man who set up the delightful serenade, Rex Hudler.
Yeah, well, you ever get into it with him, I'll tell you, the only thing I can say is this: somebody's going to get knocked out. Because he's not going to quit.
No, I told them, in fact, that if there was some fisticuffs between the two sides, that I would be more than happy to take Ryan Lefevre. You could take Rex.
That's in the right field. So Escobar is retired for out number 1. We lead at 3-0 here. We scored 3 on the top of the first, if in fact you're just tuning in. And I want to thank everybody all day long. I don't know how many, probably 80, 90, maybe 100 texts. Wasn't able to answer a lot of them. But thank you very much for the thought and well wishes. Got some from people I hadn't heard from in a long time. There is a ball to Ben Zobrist. Had an infield single, little Kansas City special. To know the count. And the count 2-1. 2-1 with 1 out.
That pitch was a break for John, as that ball was way out of the zone. I think Zobrist was a little surprised.
That ball hit hard but foul.
A lot of speculation at the trade deadline of where Ben Zobrist would wind up, and he was rumored to go a lot of different places, because I can't think of a team that couldn't use him.
That's popped up. Well, especially as many guys are in that hunt for the second wild card. There are a lot of teams that could use him.
And Kansas City was a team that stepped up, and although it wasn't one of the most acclaimed deals around, it was a very good deal for them.
Well, we talked about it before the season started. Them getting Kendrys Morales was a huge pickup for this ball club. And it's turned out to be a huge pickup. 98 RBIs. So here's Lorenzo. He nubbed one right off the end of the bat, little comebacker.
Leighton Moore's just done a terrific job with this team. He's been a good general manager for a long time. He knew exactly where he stood with his talent, and it's worked out pretty well. So easy ground ball to second base, and for Johnny Danks, he's out of the inning. We'll move to the 4th. It's a 3-0 game. Sox on top. 4-pack. Each pack includes 4 upper box game tickets, 4 hot dog value meals, and a parking pass. Abreu 4-packs are available now for all remaining Monday through Thursday games. Visit whitesox.com/Abreu to order yours today. This fellow's having a bad day. But he's got a good seat, so we decided to stay.
It looks like somebody who had a home run off Ed Farmer the next at bat.
Oh, jeez.
Here's LaRoche. He walked. 3-0 good, guys. Top of the 4th inning. 3-5-0. 0-3-0 for them. Backhanded by Zobrist. One out. And here's Alexi. Alexi had a little Kansas City special. That was back in the 1st inning.
Yeah, it looked like Zobrist looked at Escobar. He looked at Zobrist, and meantime, nobody caught it.
There is a first ball fastball on the outside corner. Curveball, no. And here is that play.
Looked like for a moment it was going to be 2. Turned out not even 1.
Well, I would say they've done that to us a few times in this ballpark.
Many times.
Just like that. Just out of the reach, or one of our guys whiffing on it. Scoring 1 or 2. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. Well, you mentioned Dayton Moore last inning, and there's no question about it. In my opinion, as you know, we talked about it. In 2013, I thought they should have won it that year. They lost that. They played that big series in Detroit. Watch out. And Miguel Cabrera beat them a couple of times with first base open. And that's what it took to wind out of the sails. If they win those 2 ball games, you never know.
I think probably the best thing Ned Yost did this year was decide very early to put Mike Moustakas in the 2 spot, because that allowed him to somehow thrive, hitting .282 this year, driving in 59 and being a pretty good 2-hole hitter.
And there's a rolling curveball hit hard by Alexi.
If you're going to throw one high and tight, you want to make sure that the next breaking ball is low and away, not a spinner right over the middle of the plate, because nothing makes a hitter happier when he gets one up and in than to get a base hit on the next pitch.
Here's Carlos, hit into a double play in the 1st inning. Curveball strike. Pretty good pitch to hit right there.
Against the Royals, Carlos has loved to see their pitching staff, and not many people can say that. Lexi running at 75%, 15 out of 20.
There he goes. He got the Lance Johnson jump.
That's a brain cramp on the part of Chris Medlin.
Now make it hurt.
He's not looking at him, and we've seen that more and more for whatever reason.
That's top foul. Well, it's gotten to the point now, Steve, that if the catcher doesn't call for it, they're not going to throw over there unless they're a veteran.
It's just amazing to
and
me.
Some of those guys don't even look.
I would say it's amazing to me that they're not looking to first base, and we've seen a lot of guys just pretty much going to second base uncontested. Hopefully in a play like that the hitter doesn't have 2 strikes, because then he can take one and hit with a guy in scoring position.
Close. Could have gone either way. Went Carlos' way. Nice gap out there in left center if he can find it. A lot of room between Johnny Gomes and that right field line. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. They're going to hold Alexei now as Kane's going to make a high bad throw, but that's just a terrible throw on Lorenzo Cain as Carlos just walks into second base and Lorenzo knows it.
You don't see it happen too many times to the Kansas City Royal outfielder, but this is awful. All the base runner has to do is read the arc of the throw, realize it's a rainbow coming in, and just take off, stealing 90 feet actually.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and takes a double play out of sync, unless it's a bad base running double play. So the infield in. As here's Tyler, he just ripped a single, lined it hard into right field. And that curveball was high, part of the zone at the top, and the count 1-0. Still just amazes me how guys will not swing it, hanging curveballs. You may have won 30 or 40 more games if those guys had laid all those hangers.
A lot of hangers left the ballpark. A lot of them. Especially if they happen to roll in the strike zone like that one did.
Yeah. Snuck that one underneath his hands, and the count 1-2. Yeah, your time zone guys were coming out of their shoes on high curveballs.
There were just a lot more high ball hitters in those days because of the inflatable balloon protectors.
Yeah, it's gone from a high ball hitting league to a low ball hitting league.
Now that everybody lines up in the slot, and you see where Brian Knight lines up, the slot is between the catcher and the hitter. You see the low ball much better than you see the high ball.
That's just a little low. I remember Mark McGwire's rookie season. He became the first really bona fide low fastball hitter. He had 49 home runs his rookie year. That one's over. Catch it.
He had 49 home runs in a ballpark that was not conducive to home runs.
But prior to that, if you'd never seen anybody play and you said, well, this guy hit 49 home runs, you said, well, he's definitely a high ball hitter. And McGwire was a low ball hitter. He sort of like reinvented low ball hitting.
think Perez went out there to talk to them about that curveball because it's not breaking too sharply, and he's rolling a whole lot of them, including that last one.
Two-two pitch.
Odds are overwhelming he's not going to get there because of lack of effectiveness. But Medlin tonight has anywhere from a 90 to 95 pitch limit. That's because he's just now coming back from the arm difficulties. They're trying to build up his strength slowly.
And another foul.
You can see the first inning was trying. Then second and third he breezed through. And this inning equally as difficult as the first. Only he's yet to give up a run in this one.
That ball hit high and deep. Kane just loafing back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Just what Steve was talking about. A hanger, and he heard it. It's 6-0.
That's a 9th home run of the year for Tyler. He's now driven in 37. Fourth home run replay. You can see this one just hanging right up in his eyes, and this one he didn't take and he didn't miss.
Well, that was just a terrific at bat for Tyler.
Yeah.
He fouled off some good tough pitches,
really good pitches,
and got some mistakes earlier prior to that. But that mistake he didn't miss. And of course, with that home run by Bowers, the Alex Nelius family and Christine O'Reilly will hook up with White Sox charities once again in loving memory of Ursula. Back to the Mills by Saladino. Escobar's got him. 2 down.
Sox fans, Saturday, September 12th is halfway to St. Patrick's Day, presented by Miller Lite. First 20,000 fans ages 21 and over will receive a White Sox Irish flat cap. Be sure to stay after the game for fireworks. Miller Lite, the original light pilsner and official beer of your Chicago White Sox. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/SPD.
Well, my 3 men in kilts will certainly have one of those on.
They certainly will.
Hello. 3 men in kilts when they sing the national anthem. As Adam, 1 for 2. Hits the first pitch of the ball game, a bullet into center field for a base hit, and came around to score. A.J. Rumses picked a click. A.J. owns the Burwood Tap in Lincoln Park. And I believe Burwood Tap was maybe the first or one of the first to ever have a liquor license in Chicago. Back in 1930.
I was going to say that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Of course, they didn't have much alcohol in Chicago before 1930. Just wasn't licensed.
The 1-2. Yes, did get a piece of it. Some of the Royal players thought it was strike 3. And that's foul, and that's going to be a souvenir. But very seldom in the major leagues are you going to see a guy hang as many curveballs as Medlin's hung tonight and get away with them all.
Now you can tell that the arm strength is not where it should be because that's usually where it shows up. If your arm has any lack of strength at all, or you're going through a dead arm period, it will show up in either the slider or the curveball. In his case, because he throws the curveball much more than the slider. That's a pitch he depended on, and wasn't there. Wasn't there from the beginning of this night, and certainly is not there now.
And there's a shot. Caught it a little towards the end. It sort of deadened it once it hit, but the double by Adam, that is his 23rd.
That's going to bring Dave Island out. He wants a word with Medlin. Nobody up in the pen.
Well, when you're sporting a 13-game lead, September 4th,
and not a lot of problems.
No.
And the advantage is that they're going to be able to realign their rotation whoever they want. Now, although he threw very well when he got here, Johnny Cueto the last couple of times out has not thrown well. Giordano Ventura is the guy that they might think about starting that first game of the playoffs. I guess it depends how Cueto throws the rest of the way.
Abreu is 1 for 2. Now he's 1 for 3. But a couple of singles and then a 3-run homer on a hanging curveball. Tyler Flowers, and it is 6-0 Sox. Best prep football recap show in Chicagoland on High School Lights, hosted by Kelly Kroll. It's an exciting and informative half hour of scores, highlights, and more, much more. So watch High School Lights tonight at 11 on Comcast Sports Net. Eric Hosmer do a walk his first trip, will lead it off. It is 6-0 Sox here in the bottom of the 4th inning as he takes breaking ball strike. Count 0-2.
Hosmer's won Gold Gloves in back-to-back years, the last 2 years. Just a terrific first baseman. 6'4", he's got terrific wingspan, great mobility around the bag. Very rarely, if ever, we'll see him make a bad throw. In fact, he and Moustakas at the corners are just about as good as it gets.
That shortstop they got's right there with them.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why this team has been as tough as they are.
Well, there's not a better first baseman in baseball, Eric Hosmer. There's some maybe as good, but Teixeira's very good. But nobody is better than he is with that leather.
He's made 3 errors this year.
With the range that he's got, that's amazing.
In 131 games.
With that kind of range.
Yeah.
And there's a top or two hopper. 1 out. Well, you look at Lorenzo Cain, 9 arrows out there. You can understand that because he's got good arm, terrific speed, terrific center fielder, and with that range he's got, he's going to try to make some plays that are just not going to come off.
Yeah, I would say the majority of those would have to be throwing errors as he's going probably maybe going to his left or right, trying to get a throw off to get somebody out, and throws it well wide of the bag. But there are very few teams, if you said, how would you like to have him in your center field, would say, no, we're okay there.
Boy, shortstop, center field, American League, some terrific young talent. Morales struck out. And Carlos is going to get him. And that's 2 down.
That was defended perfectly. Carlos was up the middle. They're playing him very much as a pull hitter. And this is the shift. The shift just got him. As he reaches out, tries to take that ball to the right side. Normally it would be almost at straight away second base. He'd have to go to his right, this time to his left. And threw him out easily as Morales, after that horrific leg injury suffered at home plate as a member of the Angels. He doesn't run real well anymore, but you drive in for the year, maybe 115, 118. You don't have to run too fast.
How about this that happened last night? Something you don't see very often. Bryce Harper, who was homered for the Nationals, only run in that 1-1 tie with Atlanta, that game in the top of the 8th inning. Now that's his 32nd home run. The last night he saw 20 pitches, never swung at one, walked 4 times and scored 4 runs.
That hadn't been done by too many people.
I've never heard of
it in quite some time. Well, take a look at the graphic. Our crack crew is right on top of that. Last night, Bryce Harper, and then Ricky Henderson back in '89, Joe Morgan in '73, and Larry Doby in 1951. My manager with the White Sox.
That ball hit in the right center field. We got a man there. And that is a nice 1-2-3 inning as Gomes goes out, and we're into the 5th, leading by 6.
For Bark at the Park at U.S. Cellular Field, presented by Abaderm Natural Pet Foods and Nylabone. For more information, visit WhiteSox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME. Bark at the Park, one of my favorite days.
I love Dog Days at the ballpark. One of my favorites. I love Elvis. I love Mom's Day, of course. That's number 1. Dog's Day, I think, number 2. Elvis, number 3. As here is Melky. He's 0 for 2. Curveball strike. Let that one work for him a little bit. Zobrist.
Kansas City has earned the right to play games like this and not worry too much about it. There's 3 teams in the Central. The Royals, the Twins, and the Indians have won 7 of their last 10.
Here's Avi. Takes that fastball strike. Count nothing in 2. Checks it up on that breaking ball. Huge crowd on hand. And why not? You got a fun club to watch like this. I believe it's the first time in their franchise history that they have been in first place at this late in the season from day 1.
Really been a terrific year for them. They came out of last year with a great deal of belief. They knew they added to an already strong club. And it's turned out exactly that way.
That curveball. Corral. Nice little shift by Hosmer.
Nothing scares a base runner much more than seeing the first baseman go to the back part of the bag, knowing that you've got to cross in front of a throw. So Cuthbert bobbles it. Still, the arm is strong enough. And here comes Avi down the line. He sees Hosmer shifting and goes, well, I better get under this one.
So here's Adam. A walk and a ground out to second into the shift. Well, the base running today has really been curtailed as far as the aggressiveness of the runner. Years past, I was taught, you get a play like that, you run right through him. Right through him.
You don't see that at all. You don't see base runners going after pitchers that they cross over the bag. You see them pull up more times than not.
That's right.
But it used to be you were taught how to cover the bag. You wanted your footwork solid. You wanted to touch the outside part of the bag, inside part of the bag with the right foot, and then turn toward the field of play, whether there was a guy at third or not.
Got him. And that'll retire the side. We're halfway home. We lead at 6-0. right, Chuck. Thank you very much, buddy. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-9-0 for us. 0-3-0 for them. Perez, Cuthbert, and Orlando, the bottom third of the Kansas City order. That ball hit hard. Melky, yes, fighting the lights a little bit. So that's a hang wolf 'em for Salvador.
Perez has been up twice. He almost tore the glove off Avi in right field the first time up. This time he hits a rocket right at Melky and left. But what a great luxury to have a guy that can control the pitching staff like he can and swing the bat like he can.
He's a good one. And it's going to get better and better and better.
That position has become the most difficult to fill to get contributions in every aspect of the game. A lot of great defenders don't hit very well. The guys that can hit behind the plate, they don't catch particularly well. You have Buster Posey, Salvador Perez, Yadier Molina are the three that jump out at you when you think about guys that are developed, come to the big leagues, and star for their respective teams.
Well, Salvador Perez, one of the best in the business, got 18 home runs and 57 RBIs. Between the two of our guys, Flowers and Soto, we've got 17 home runs and 57 RBIs. So we are getting excellent, as he gone, production offensively from Flowers and Soto. Here's Orlando. Hit the first pitch he saw in the hole. Hit it hard in the hole between third and short for a base hit.
Robin Ventura decided in his rotation to put Samardzija and throw him against the Twins, to move back Johnny Danks to throw him against Kansas City, because Danks has been so good against this team. And Jeff came through with a win yesterday. And Johnny Danks pitching a gem here tonight.
Two and one to count. Our guys have more home runs than Posey, but he has 23 more RBIs than them combined. He's got 80. And he's
the leader of that ball club.
Well, he's an MVP.
Yep.
There's a strike.
The Giants seemingly have run out of gas. Come into action tonight. 6.5 games in back of the Dodgers. They've lost 6 games in a row. And they're losing 2-0 tonight in Colorado in the top of the 4th.
That ball scalded down to Saladino. A 1-2-3 inning. That is 9 in a row retired by Johnny Danks.
Pizza the day after the Sox score 5 or more runs, like tomorrow. You get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with the promo code SOX5. That's at all participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
And there is Bo during the break. Getting acknowledged on the scoreboard, and then nice ovation. Bo Jackson with Diet Pepsi in his glass.
Indeed.
Alexei, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, a run scored. That's back through the middle into center field. Here's Sanchez, Carlos. 1 for 2. A single and a run scored. Into the seats. Off the mask. Up Perez.
He's taking a look to see if he cracked it. So far, it looks like no harm done.
Boink.
Top of the mask, top of the helmet.
Curveball, drops it
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, not a strike. And the count 1-2. Wants it up. Got it up. Way up. 2-2. We scored 3 in the first, 3 in the fourth if you're just joining us. And a full count. Don't help him out.
Well, he's going to have an opportunity here because you figure he's going to be going. Darryl Boston probably talking to him about making sure he doesn't get picked off. Like that quick throw over there.
There he goes. Escobar makes the play. Boy, I'll tell you, he is fun to watch.
What a strong arm he has because he was going away from the play. Didn't have a whole lot of time to set himself and threw a strike to first base to get him. This one squibbed off the end of the bat. Escobar in the air and still gets plenty on the throw.
Here's Tyler. Tyler, a hard single to right and then a hanging curveball for a 3-run homer.
After fouling off a lot of very good pitchers' pitches, he finally got one to his liking. Right up in his face, and a few courtesy steps by Lorenzo Cain, but that one was long gone.
0-2 the count. You see Tyler now choking up with 2 strikes. It's always a good thing for you youngsters to do. They want the high fastball. You're going to make more contact, and you won't lose any power. Or as Johnny Bench says, and you won't stink. Blue Emu. Good approach. That ball ripped hard.
Hung another breaking ball, only this one was well inside, and by the time Tyler got the bat on it, it went well foul. See where it comes up, just spinning on the inside portion on the Honda pitch tracks. Hard location to keep fair.
Another rolling curveball. First pitch of the sequence was a pretty good curveball, even though it was decent to hit, but it did have some bite on it.
And the bullpen up and going for the first time as Medlin reaching toward that 100 mark.
Got him upstairs.
Hey, White Sox fans, next time you're looking for a great seat, get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. At StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of WhiteSox.com.
So here is Saladino, 0 for 2. Grounder to third and a grounder short. Pick him up, Tyler. 6-10-0 for us, 0-3-0 for them here in the top of the 6th inning.
Jeremy Guthrie, who for a long time was a starter, only to lose his spot.
There was a strike and went Tyler's way. Perez talking to Brian Knight. Two and one. Quintana against Danny Duffy tomorrow. And that game will be over WGN. And the finale, Eric Johnson against Johnny Cueto. Watch out. That's going to get him in. There's a Kansas City special for you. And it's a 7-0 Sox lead.
RBA number 18, yes, that's going to be it. He's at the 98 pitch mark. So Ned Yost comes walking out slowly. And Guthrie is coming in. The night is done for Chris Medlin. So as Guthrie comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. MLB.com ballpark to unlock offers and rewards. The official U.S. Cellular Field Ballpark app for your iPhone and Android smartphone perfectly complements and personalizes your trip with ballpark maps, mobile check-in, seat upgrades, and more. Download MLB.com ballpark today or visit WhiteSox.com/ballpark app to learn more. And our Honda call to the pen is Jeremy Guthrie. He's on for just the third time out of the bullpen. 23 starts. This is his 26th appearance. ERA over 5.5 with an 8-7 record. You can see a whopping amount, 169 hits and 135 innings.
Here's Adam. He's been our igniter. Hit the first pitch of the ball game hard into center field. Came around to score when we had 3 runs in the first inning. There is strike one. Then he bounced back to the pitcher, and then in the fourth, doubled. Check that. He did not score in the first as Medlin made a terrific play to throw him out at the plate. Look at this. So that'll be a base hit.
Twelfth hit of the night, third for Adam Eaton. Couple of singles and a double. Saladino was going to make it into second base anyway, but it's a terrific play. Zobrist can't hang on to it. Pretty quick runners on base.
Pick somebody up, Jose. Brayu singled and scored in the first. Popped to left in the third. Grounded to short in the fourth. Nice gap out there in left center. Good pitch.
Most RBIs in road games. Abreu with 50. Josh Donaldson with 47. Nelson Cruz 46. And it's Fielder and Teixeira. Teixeira on the disabled list. But Jose Abreu leads the pack on the road.
2 on, 2 out, and the 1-2. Got him with a hook. The Saladinos single. Knocks in Alexei Ramirez, and we lead at 7-0. on a brand new episode Inside Look. And watch the men in red try to make their move in the standings against Montreal. It all starts tomorrow at 6 right here on CSN. 7-0 good guys. Bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Escobar, Zobrist, and Kane face Johnny Dax.
Johnny had some problems in the first, some problems in the second. Came away without giving him any runs in either of the innings. Took a great throw from Melky Cabrera to cut down Cuthbert at the plate. But after that, that's been the sum total of the offense for these Royals.
Retired the last 9. Takes first pitch strike, does Alcides. He has struck out and gone out softly to right field.
Royals played a 9-inning game yesterday, just under 4 hours.
There's a typical Alcides Escobar base hit to right field. Well, in that game yesterday, there were 78 pitches thrown in the first inning.
That's pretty amazing. They started that ball game at. It took them 46 or 47 minutes to get through the first inning. Ended up 15-7.
So here's Zobrist.
45 minutes and 76 pitches. Yikes.
First pitch strike. Zobrist had an infield single, and he popped up to right field. Beautiful Kauffman Stadium.
It's held up really well. I know they've done a lot to refurbish it, but it's just a good looking ballpark, always has been.
Scoreboard out there in center field is just spectacular.
Didn't like it quite as much here as a pitcher pitching against their ball club with the artificial surface here, where everybody on the ball club could run you out of the park, and they just did.
He did not go. And the count 3-1. Make him swing it back. Make him hit his way on, Johnny. That's the yank foul. Full count. Thirty-four-year-old veteran Ben Zobrist. Take your time, boys. You got plenty of it. Rack them up. 2 down.
Nice little underhand flip by Carlos as he came across the bag. Zobrist doesn't have great speed. Plus he loses a step from the right side, so it becomes fairly easy. The little flip, and they've got him to a good 2 steps at first.
So here's Kane. He's hit a little soft number off the end of the bat back to Dax. That was back in the first inning, and then he went to second. Johnny went to second to force Zobrist. And then Kane grounded out to Sanchez at second. Takes first pitch strike. Baltimore reversing the tables on Toronto. Orioles leading the Blue Jays 10-2, bottom of the 9th up in Canada.
The Orioles went on a prolonged losing streak. Find themselves 6.5 games out of the wild card. And they were right there knocking at the door.
Well, they just hit the same thing as we did. Only we had it a little longer, a little earlier. And they just get it. And now Yost is going to come to the top step and wait for them to give him a sign. He says, okay, he's out. And we're into the 7th.
Of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Chicago Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Melky will lead us off here in the top of the 7th. Melky 0 for 3, but he has scored a run. The pitch is popped up, and it's playable. Cuthbert for 1 pitch, 1 out. Cuthbert out of Corn Island, Nicaragua.
He's done a terrific job tonight. Hit the ball one time very hard, played a good solid third base.
Here's Avi 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Yankees beat Tampa Bay 5-2 in the Bronx. Severino, the youngster, 3-2 with a 2.04 ERA.
He's got really unbelievable stuff. That was one of the guys they refused to part with when they were talking about trading for a big-time pitcher. Severino was the guy that just about everybody wanted. That and a very young shortstop they have. Severino's stuff is certainly major league ready, and then some.
Now the Cubs thumped Arizona 14-5. Anthony Rizzo 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. I tell you, that Russell, that kid hit his 12th. He got a 2.
He's 21 years old.
He's going to be something special.
Yeah, he is.
He's going to be really something special. Two and 2. Lester the winner. Rizzo hit his 28th in that game. That's high in the right field. Johnny Gomes.
Join the free WhiteSox.com blacklist for exclusive White Sox content all year long. That includes news and video updates, ticket offers, breaking alerts, and more. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today.
Chris Bryant had an RBI in that game. This is 85th. As Adam 0 for 2 with a walk, takes strike one. That's low.
They should just wrap up the Rookie of the Year trophy and give it to him now. Save the late season rush.
Might have been interesting if Russell had been up earlier all the way.
Boy, imagine if Oakland had Josh Donaldson and Addison Russell. Oh, they did. Sorry.
And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch, we lead it 7-0. First pitch to Eric Hosmer. Big hack. 0-1 the count. He's walked and he's grounded 2. Sanchez at second. 7-12-0 for our guys. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for their guys. And the count 0-2.
County's been sailing right along. Only extra base hit by Cuthbert that coming with 2 outs in the second. Then he was erased at the plate.
Checks it up on that breaking ball.
Now bidding to go 10-2 lifetime against these Royals. There you look at some pretty impressive numbers. He's only walked 1, fanning 3, getting ahead most of the time.
Pitch inside. Yes, timed perfectly by Alexis. A hang whoop'em for Hosmer.
This is one of those days, however, where the Royals continue to hit the ball hard. And fortunately, just about each and every time they do, there's a Sox defender standing right in the way of them.
And Ed Yost thinking the same thing. Well, you know, Yost has got his detractors. He had him in Milwaukee, but one thing you cannot take away from him. That club started coming on in 13. Could have possibly won it in 13. Last year, 1 out away from winning a World Championship, and this year one of the best teams in baseball. So you got to give him his credit when it's due, and it's due. Morales has struck out.
Like every manager who's ever been in that dugout, you better have some good players. He's got some good players, and he's managed them well. And again, we talked earlier about elevating Moustakas to the 2 spot in the batting order really helped Moustakas come of age.
Well, that was a move.
Always there.
Yeah, that was a move.
Yeah,
but you know,
well for him.
It's just it's getting what's in them out of them, and that's why Joe Madden is such. To me, he's about as good as he gets. You might tie him, but you're not going to beat him. And those guys give him 27 ounce. These guys here have been giving Ned Yost 27 ounce. And when they give you 27 ounce, something's going right.
Well, his general manager has had a whole lot of faith in him. And even through the real dark times here, and there were some very bad Kansas City teams, he stuck with Ned Yost.
That is what it is. It's just that simple. He's done it, and he deserves kudos. If they don't run into a monster, one of the greatest World Series performances of all time, Madison Bumgarner, they're world champions. So Kendrys is retired. 2 down.
I think this year it's hard to say they're going to get as close as they got last year, because one of the things that they do lack is that #1 guy. Unless Johnny Cueto suddenly starts to pick it up and throws like he did with Cincinnati for a long time, if he can be that guy, then they got their #1 guy. Other than that, it's not going to be easy for him in the starting rotation.
There's another element and issue. Their bullpen this year is not as strong as it was last year. High Melky. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Danks, and we're into the 8th. From Kauffman Stadium is Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, internationally pitcher of the year, and our Sox go up against Johnny Cueto and these Royals. Coverage begins with White Sox pregame live, presented by Orland Park Toyota, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Eighth inning here at the K. 7-12-0 for us, 0-4-0 for them. For us, it'll be Alexei. Alexei has had a terrific game. He's 3 for 3, 2 big RBIs and 2 runs scored. He made a real good play at second. Behind second, I should say. As that's going to go foul, bounce into the seats for a soft souvenir. Now he's going to have to get another piece of maple. So it's a good thing about the maple is that you don't have to say the other. $36,953 tonight.
Paulo Orlando shifts over to center field. And Terrence Gore, pinch runner supreme, moves into left field. Christian Colon comes in to play second base.
That Terrence Gore is fun to watch when he gets on that base path from a baseball standpoint. But now you got another uniform on. That'll be a base hit, so I'd like to say 4 for 4. Another Kansas City special.
It's hit number 13 as he takes it back up the middle. It's a high changeup. And just as Escobar was going to transfer and try to make a throw from his posterior, the ball dropped out of the glove in the first 4-hit game since May 8th of last year.
And once again, a very heartfelt thank you for all the happy birthdays and well wishes, all the texts I've been getting and continue to get throughout this game, to each and all. Can't get that one upstairs. Flowers on deck. Perez very good at keeping the ball in front of him. And that's fouled back, and that'll be out of play. If you're just tuning in, we scored 3 in the first. Abreu, Cabrera, and Garcia all scored. Javi with an RBI and Alexi with 2 big RBIs. And then in the fourth, Medlin on Tyler Flowers a curveball for a 3-run bomb.
It was a culmination of a very long, very good at bat.
It was an outstanding at bat as Tyler saw a lot of pitches, fouled off several good pitchers' pitches.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's our Miller moment. None other than Tyler Flowers on a hanging curveball. It's way back there. That's his 9th of the year. His 2nd hit of the game. RBIs 35, 6, and 7. That put a little daylight between these two clubs.
Watch out. And that hit him.
Guthrie hit his 9th. That ties him for the team lead, and Hermie goes out to talk with Tyler.
Well, Jeremy Guthrie's going to pitch inside. He's got to. And Tyler turned into it for the most part.
Salvador Perez wanted the ball inside. He was sitting in there.
He was not trying to hit him. This two teams do have a little history this year. There's no question about that.
There's a lot of teams with some history with these Kansas City Royals this year.
Especially when certain guys are out on that mound from Kansas City.
This year started off a very feisty year for them, and they've stayed pretty feisty all year long.
Tyler 1 for 3 with an RBI. That was a 2-out RBI in the 6th inning. Close pitch, didn't get it, and the count 2-0. And there's a base hit. They're going to hold him now. Is he going to go through the sign? He's cut off. He's going to score. Bad throw by Gore. And it's 8-0.
Nineteenth driven in as Tyler with his second hit. Only Ewing wants to hold him up, and Alexei didn't even look at him, realizing Gore doesn't have much of an arm. He didn't even
couldn't have stopped him with a backhoe right there.
He had no idea that there was a guy standing there coaching third.
Nope. So here is Adam. Adam 3 for 4. 2 singles, a double. Then he takes first pitch strike. And that's inside. Bottom of the 10th in Washington, tied at 2 with Atlanta. Senators trying desperately to hang on. But they got their work cut out for them, for that team in front of them.
Well, they came in 6 games in back of New York. The Mets.
That's the Nationals, not the Senators.
No. There are some Senators in there.
Yeah, I got one sitting right beside me. Nationals 6 games back of the Mets coming in. Oh boy. High, deep, stretch, stretch, stretch. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Another hanger. And another, he heard it. It is 11-0.
4th hit for Adam. And he's now driven in 41. 11 home runs, 41 driven in. A hanging curveball. Our 4th home run replay. This one just got up and kept on drifting till it went into the bullpen.
Well, we saw him the other day in Minnesota, that exhibition in batting practice. He hit one as Abreu takes the foul. He hit one just about as far as he could hit a baseball. I mean, it went a long way back over into the concourse, over those seats and everything at Target Field. Pound for pound, he can hit it about as far as anybody. As that ball hit into center field. Orlando goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Number 25 for Jose, and it's 12-0.
25 and 81 on the power numbers. A 4th home run replay, and this is really a blast. It's 410 to straightaway center field. And this one went way out.
And that pitch down and into Melky. Melky 0 for 4. Yeah, that was a bomb. And that ball hit hard into left field. Gore. He can't get it. So Melky will just cruise on into second base with his 31st double. How many of these have we had this year?
Oh, so many that you mean
it's hard.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
hard
even
to count, huh?
Yeah.
Only the second time we have gone back to back this season.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. On September 4th. What a nice birthday present, though. A nice birthday present.
Well, if there was any drama in this one, the drama was kind of put to rest in the fourth inning with a 6-0 lead, especially the way John was throwing the ball and the way he's thrown it historically against these Royals.
Perez fixing his helmet. 5 in, still just 1 out. And there's a curveball low. (12-17-0) for us, 0-4-0 for them. That change up. Grabs the strike. Johnny Dax on his way to his 3rd victory of the year against Kansas City, and the 10th of his career. 10-2. Two down. Ivy with that big RBI single in the first inning. That was a big hit in this ball game, especially after Medlin had thrown out Adam Eaton at home plate. That was a big hit by Avi Garcia.
Well, you hit a ground ball there and it turns into 2, and you come away without any runs in that first. It's going to be
different ball,
completely different ball game.
Yeah, that ball high into center field. Orlando. But a big crooked number goes up there, a 5 spot, and we lead at 12-0. All right, Chuck, thank you very much. And as you check out our Comcast Sportsnet tail of the tape, 12-17-0 for us, 0-4-0 for them. Salvador Perez will lead it off. Takes first pitch strike. Perez has been to the plate twice and hit 2 bullets. One right at Avi Garcia and right, and one right at Milky Cabrera and left. And the count 0-2.
That one hit right off of Tyler. That's kind of smart. Brian Knight gives him a little time.
Ouch.
It's right off the instep of the right foot. J.B. Chuck checks in the game in right field. Jerry Garcia in center field.
The 0-2 wants it upstairs. He got it up there and he laid off up.
Trey Stopson has taken over in left field.
That's just a hard hit foul ball. And there you're looking at Frank White. Background, Frank, greatest second baseman in Kansas City Royal franchise history.
He came out of the Royals Academy.
And what a nice guy.
He's a terrific guy.
And what a good play. What a good play. Wow. Mr. Steady Eddie out there at second base. He gone. 4th strikeout for Johnny.
John keeps rolling right along. And if anything, getting stronger than he was in the early innings.
Well, Johnny is putting on here for the last month and a half what in years past would be called a salary drive. No, that phraseology is
not
gone.
Anymore. No, they've driven
never
the
to return.
Long before.
Yeah, he's been pitching well.
Now we've seen some free agent drives.
Oh, those are very prevalent. And that's right at JB. So Cuthbert hit the ball hard twice tonight, once for a double.
Pitches for John, and he's given up 3 singles and a double. That's it against a team that was 47-22 here at home.
Yeah, in years past, those salary drives, you had a lot of situations where the salary structure was entirely different then. You could have a terrific year, and if your team finished poorly, you might get $1,000 raise, $1,500 raise, and you would say, why? I had a terrific year. Yeah, you did, but our team lost. We can lose.
We can lose without
you. Yeah, that's what they would tell you.
That was always the statement.
Yeah. And they had no leverage. They didn't have free agency. We didn't have free agency. We didn't have any leverage whatsoever. So,
and 1-year contracts, which in essence really makes you bear down and also keeps you off the disabled list, by the way.
Well, I told you when I was playing in Kansas City one year, it was my second year, I led the team in home runs and RBIs and got offered a $500 raise.
That was whether you needed it or not.
That's off the end of the bat. Jose will take it himself. Nice inning. That's 8 in a row retired. He'd retired 9 earlier and went to the 9th.
Pena behind the plate and Butera at first base.
And here's Alexei. He is 4 for 4 in this game with 2 driven in and 3 runs scored. And Gio, Mike Leary, Dave Ross have been going with Alexei quite a bit. They get off of him and poof.
That's what happens. He has a big night. They picked him up, however, for that at bat.
So here is Sanchez. He's 1 for 4. And A.J. Rumsa's picked to click. Burwood Tap in Lincoln Park. A.J. had Adam Eaton. 4 for 5. 2 singles, a double, and a 3-run homer. Little comebacker. 2 down. So here's Tyler. Tyler 2 for 3, a hard single, a long 3-run homer. And last time up last inning he was hit by a pitch. He more or less hit himself. He turned into it. As he takes first pitch strike. But regardless, it still hurts as much. Outfield straight up, spread out. And the count 0-2. Once again, a reminder, tomorrow that game will be over GN tomorrow. Jose Quintana against Danny Duffy, and then in the finale on Sunday, Eric Johnson, International League Pitcher of the Year, against Johnny Cueto in that game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Altered his motion a little bit right there.
Tried to quick pitch him. Got to do something to get the inning over and get him out of here.
And that pitch out of play. If you're just getting home tuning in, we scored 3 in the first, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, and 5 in the eighth. And we get a text here that's saying Johnny Danks has never lost when leading by 12.
That's the Jimmy Olsen text.
That's Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
One of the best reporters we have out there.
But he's the biggest front runner. He just popped up. And a 1-2-3 inning win to the bottom of the 9th inning, leading big.
The #1 app for live baseball. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are with live look-ins, highlights, instant previews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcast, the MLB.TV game of the day, and more. Download the MLB.com at Bat app on your smartphone or tablet now.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the 9th, Escobar, Colon, the first two. Alcides, 1 for 3, had a line drive base hit in right field, leading off the 6th inning. 12-0 Sox. Johnny Danks trying to pick up his second shutout of the season. And there's a typical Escobar base hit.
Both his base hits in the exact same spot. Guy tries to throw a backdoor cutter, and Escobar does what he usually does. Takes it the opposite way.
He's such a good player. As here is Christian Colon. That's out of play right side. He's got some of the best outside corner out 4 or 5 inches coverage of anybody in the American League. Big gap in right center.
Frankie Montas losing in the pen. Terrence Gore in the on-deck circle.
Oh, Montas hard throw. He got some big shoulders. Wow.
He's a big man.
Better believe he is. And there's a base hit. So the first 2 men aboard.
Colon just reaches out and pokes it to the right side. Still the first 2 up.
Well, this is what Kansas City does so well. They just don't strike out much. In fact, they lead by 140 something. fewer strikeouts than the second place team. As here is Gore. That's high, playable. Now Trace takes charge, and he certainly is big enough to do so.
Again, Alexi talking with Trace Thompson. Infielders have to give way here. This is an easy play for the outfielder. Tyler probably didn't hear with a lot of people here, but Thompson, a big man, reaches up and pulls it away.
I tell you, he's the biggest 6'3" I've ever seen.
Alexi took a look, and both guys were coming together, and he just accelerated down through the middle of them. Drew Buter's first at bat.
Hosmer had walked, grounded to second, and lined out to Alexei. Takes first pitch, strike. Sox trying to win the first game here this year. This is the 7th game we have played here at the K.
Can't break a 7-game losing streak dating back to September of last year.
Funny thing about it is we have had some very, very hard-fought, tough, close games here and lost every one of them. And there's a solid single. So they're going to hold. As Trace will get it back in. There's another guy can throw and is accurate. And that'll bring up their 98 RBI man, Kendrys Morales, who was 0 for 3 tonight.
Looks like Robin's going to give John an opportunity to throw a shutout if he can get him to hit the ground ball, because it will be 2. But he has thrown 113, so we'll see what's on his mind. No doubt Tyler was sent out there to calm him down. Robin's going to let him try to nail down that shutout with 1 ground ball turned into 2.
You couldn't get him out of there with a John Deere.
Now he wants to finish this one off, if at all possible. Morales grounded into 22 double plays this year.
Well, when you hit the ball as hard as he does and you can't run,
it's a good combination of double plays.
Watch out. It's over into the camera well. Sox pack with Royals 1 out. And there Johnny catches a break. 1-2.
He does, but on the other side of the page, it is 12-0.
Well, if that's the case, you got to tell them that. It's 12-0, boys. That's all you got to say. Hey, guys, it's 12-0.
Swing the bat.
That is popped up short, and that's going to be caught by Trace. Yes, a beautiful diving catch. But they get on the board.
What a play by Trace Thompson. RBI 99 for Kendrys Morales. And Thompson has a long way to run. He gets a great break on it and lays out at the last instant to make the catch.
This young man is going to be fun to watch for a long time in that White Sox uniform. A long time. So here's Johnny Gomes. Takes first pitch strike. That at 91.
Doesn't appear that Johnny can ever get his helmet to fit quite right.
That is what you call a routine.
Yep.
You notice most of the guys in Cooperstown did the same thing almost every time at the plate. Breaking ball strike. Even though that curveball was up, had a little bite on it. He gone, and this ball game is over. So Johnny Danks, Stoney, 10-2 now. Career against these Royals.
He was just terrific tonight. Gave up just a 1 run on 7 hits. What a night it was for Johnny Danks, and what a night it was for the offense as they came and hit everything in sight and made life miserable for Chris Medley.
All right, so far Steve Stone, for our Hall of Fame director Jim Angio, our guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our very fine tech